What's up, everyone? So it has been, I'm actually not sure how many months, but it's been a long time since I've done an update on my vestibular migraine stuff, and I haven't been speaking about it as much on my Instagram page, and I definitely haven't been on any online support groups. So I always get loads of messages on Instagram. I at least get like, sorry, I'm in my car. I at least get like one message a week minimum about people suffering with vestibular migraines, weird symptoms that they can't explain. So I just wanted to do a little bit of an update, and I'm gonna try not to kind of repeat things that I've posted like on my other videos and stuff, and kind of just talk about where I'm at now, how long's it been, my advice for other people going through this. So I mean, I've had migraines or like dizzy issues obviously since I was a kid, but since this like last relapse, I guess you would call it, it was October 2017, so to 2018, it's been about, or was it 2018? It's been about 2.5 years. This is just my dog in her little dog seat, so she's, say hi Baba. Hey, hi. She's literally just in the car with me. Clearly getting a little bit hot, so I'm gonna open a window for her. There you go. Yeah, so it's been about 2.5 years, which is crazy. I have been on Effexa or venlafaxine for about 10 months now. I don't know if I would say it's the medicine that's been life-changing for me, if I'm completely honest, because I feel like progressively with loads of different meds that I've tried, I've been improving. I really think time is the biggest factor. What I think the medicine has done is stabilize things a little bit. So things that used to trigger me don't trigger me as much. I really want to come off Effexa. I've gone up to 150, but from 75 to 150, I haven't noticed any different. So I do just kind of want to slowly wean off of that and try different routes. So I did have an appointment with the London Migraine Centre or London Migraine Clinic, which is a charity-based clinic, and they were amazing. Like, the woman that I spoke to was just, I know I've said this about like different docs, but she was one of the like the best people I've spoken to, just because she really understood it, and she really understood the main symptom that I suffer from, which is this spacey derealization. I don't really know like what to call it, and the thing is, I've had it for so long now, I don't even know what it was like before I had it. So it kind of just feels like my head's really foggy, like there's like a bit like when you have a head cold and your head feels really stuffy, and nothing, you feel a bit like detached from your surroundings, like everything feels a little bit far away. I don't know, it's really odd to explain. I have gone into detail in my other videos, but that is probably the main symptom that I have now, along with visual snow, which I would say is less. I don't get floaters anymore. So they've gone. You know what's really weird about it is you don't realize something's gone because you're just focusing on what's there until like, and then you look back and you're like, oh my god, actually, like the first 1.5 years I kept a diary and I'd write my symptoms in it, and I haven't done that for a while just because things have been so stable that nothing fluctuates as much, which is a good thing. But yeah, when I spoke to the migraine clinic, they really understood that symptom, and what she said was that although I'm better, she said that she wouldn't have kept me on meds for as long as I've been on, so she does want me to come off of them and try a nerve block or Botox, which I personally prefer so much more than taking drugs. It's just not my thing. Like, I've taken over like 12 different meds over the last 2.5 years. Some of them have been fucking horrendous, and I'm just over it. Like, I think if I could go back in time, and if you're watching this and you are starting off and you feel like your life is over and the world, like the depression is like suffocating, because I have been there, I would honestly, if I could turn back, I would have like gone on an antidepressant straight away, like sertraline, Prozac, any of those, because I think it would have really helped cope mentally, because the panic just fuels this so much more, and I just don't think that I met any doctors that really cared just how severe and how debilitated I was. So anyways, but I will say that recovery is slow. I'd say if I had to gauge myself on percentage now, that most days I am 75%. My bad days are like 60%. So I think from my last video, I've gone up like 15% in recovery. Just to give you an example of how long that is. I think it's like, what, 6 months, 15%. I mean, the brain is a slow healer, but you know what? I've kind of come to the conclusion that as long as I'm healing and as long as there is progress, I'm grateful. And there are people with worse off things, but I think even the fact that I can look at it in a positive, like I'm more positive and less depressed, is also a sign of getting better. And I've accepted it. I've accepted that I don't know when I'm going to feel back to normal, but it is going to happen. And I've also accepted that it's something that is part of me, and it is something that I will have to manage, but that doesn't mean that I won't have periods of feeling normal, because I have had that in my lifespan. But you know, I think with anything, like, I can't live as carefree as I was before, in the sense that, like, I'm very aware of like caffeine, because that's a bit of a trigger for me, alcohol intake, but I didn't really drink alcohol before. Working, like, I think I would have recovered a lot quicker if I would have taken time off work, but you know, working really helped my depression. But like, when I'm exercising now and I'm doing a lot of up and down stuff, like all the time in my face, I feel really spaced out. But I can handle it better, and it's easier. It's not as bad as it was before. So I know, like, a lot of you have, like, will look at my Instagram and you'll see, oh my god, she's fit, how does she do all this? Like, everyone's different. Like, some people are really triggered by head turns. Like, running really screws me. I don't run. I definitely don't run outside. It's still a bit of a trigger, but I haven't tried it for a while. But it's, you know, you've just got to take it at your own pace. Like, and I think if you're starting exercise, just go at your own pace. Like, don't not do anything, but just do what you can do. It took me ages to get to the point that I'm at now, and it's so easy to look at someone that's getting better and just feel so shit. Like, I can't even, like, go back, like, even to think back to how I felt 2 years ago was just horrendous. Like, I just didn't want to be here, and I just wanted someone to put me asleep for however long it was going to be this bad, and wake me up after. And I have also noticed that before, when I used to walk outside, things would shift a lot. And I remember, like, I know everyone that has this will relate, like, I felt really drunk walking outside. And the other day I realized that the reason walking outside is more bearable now is because I don't feel as drunk. I still feel spaced out, so I'm not processing how I should, but it's uncomfortable but not unbearable. So that is still some progress that I've made. And I really want to make these videos so that anyone that is on a journey can kind of see these videos and be aware of, like, the process that it takes. Like, I always loved seeing Sian and, like, how she posts the gradual transition. And I would just say, like, don't compare yourself if someone, like, recovered in 8 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, like, whatever. I've spoken to people that recovered at all different rates, tried all different things, and you are going to improve is the main message that I want to say with this. I mean, I still have fear that, like, I'll relapse or again, or, like, but you know what, it's part and parcel of having something, anything that, you know, is debilitating. But I am grateful that I can make these videos and help people, and just bring awareness to something that I think people think is really rare, but it's not. It's just not. Like, I just think it's so underdiagnosed, and I think that people get very mild versions of it. Like, they feel a bit dizzy, like, a few times a month, and they don't really think anything of it, and that's fine. But it probably is still, like, linked to migraine. Migraine is so common. I also get headaches now, which I never really used to get. Not like really bad headaches, but like just behind the eye, like I'll get a headache and it will be triggered by, so my triggers are like lack of sleep, hormones before a period, ovulation. I've now realized that I get symptoms. Coffee, like caffeine, is a trigger. I think that's about it. All the other things that I thought were triggers weren't really triggers, and it's hard to figure out your triggers when you're chronic, like 24/7. I think it's really common, like in your 30s with like your hormone fluctuations, for it to be like quite severe. That's what I've been told by a few people. But I hope this video has helped give a little bit of an update on me. So the main symptoms I have at the moment are my derealization, visual snow, foggy head, some migraines sometimes. My balance has been a lot better. I don't get that rocky boat anywhere near as much. I do still get like, I'm definitely never going to have 100% normal balance. Nala, please don't think about jumping out of the car, because my dog's literally not clipped in and I feel like she's going to try and escape. So yeah, I would definitely say that, sorry, I've completely gone off track. My dog, I was like too concerned about my dog like jumping out the window. What was I saying? Oh, that's so annoying. Yeah, no, my symptoms. Yeah, so the visual snow is less. I don't have floaters anymore. Neck pain, I don't really get. The balance is much better. I still have days where, you know, it's a bit off, but nothing that I haven't been able to handle. Like kind of reminds me of what I experienced as a child when I had these symptoms. And acceptance has been a really positive thing for me. I've been in therapy for 2 years with this, which has been life-changing. If you can afford to go to a therapist, please go to a therapist, especially one that believes you and doesn't just prime it all off on anxiety, because that's really fucking irritating. I'm sure you do have anxiety with this, but it's not the cause. And yeah, that is my update, guys. I'm really sorry that it's taken me so long. Like, I know I haven't been on the groups and stuff, but I'm starting to live a life again. And I guess for me, like, I just haven't had as much of a need to go back on the groups. But I obviously still want to post this update here, so I'm not like ignoring it. But I've also realized that that's why there's not a lot of recovery stories, because people just don't want to revisit that part of their life. Like, I obviously will always update and make these YouTube videos, but it's hard, and it can be really, you know, I always try to respond to everyone, but I do understand that it's very difficult for people to be dragged back, and when they're trying to forget it and not get suffocated, like with how depressing it is, and you know, it's difficult. But I made a pact with the universe that if I got better, I would always try and help other people. So if you do message me, probably Instagram is a good shout, but give me some time to message back, because there is like a few messages and stuff to go through. But I hope that this has helped, and I hope that anyone watching this feels like, looks at my other videos and just can see that like there is progress and there is positives to take. You know, I've learned so much having this illness. My whole attitude towards life has changed, and my attitude towards health has changed. So anyways, until the next update, guys, bye.